Let's get to sorting. It's gonna take a long time, I'm sure. I already feel so much lighter. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to our office. This is the smallest room in our house. It is not necessarily the most fun room, but it is very necessary. This is where obviously we do our desk work, and the fact that this room is in disarray is stressing me out. But also, I'm sure you can imagine sorting through tax documents and things like that is not the most fun task in the world. So I have been putting it off, but I thought maybe if we do it together, we can make it a little bit more fun and interesting. Plus, I always really love watching people organize their things. It really motivates me to do it myself as well and give me lots of ideas on how I can do it or how I can implement certain organization methods in my own home. So I hope you will join me on this journey of organizing our office and making sure that everything that should be in order is in order. As always, with any organization task, the first step is to gather everything that should be in this room and categorize. I have pulled up some things from the attic as well as the living room that really should or make more sense to keep in here, and I put all of them in the guest room. And next I'm gonna just completely empty this cabinet right here. It has a lot of potential to be fantastic office storage, but it is just very underutilized. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull everything out of here, put everything down in the guest room, probably just on the floor, and start categorizing things. That way I can see which category is the largest and how I should put everything back here in a way that makes sense. I would really like, if possible, to not have to buy any additional storage. I feel like we have a lot of office storage. It's maybe not super aesthetic or, you know, all in the same style, but this room, really as the only room, probably, I would say function goes over 4, and I don't want to waste all the organization that we already have. So once this is empty, I will move on to the drawers. We both have under our desks here a set of drawers. Let me just show you. So here is mine, and this setup is mirrored on the other side, so my husband has a set of drawers there as well. This is where I keep small office supplies, and I just need to go through and organize all of those as well. Starting with this one right here. Let's just pull everything out. All right, this cabinet is empty except for at the bottom here. This is my old scanner. We do have a printer now that also has a scanner, but that one is a little bit more advanced. It can scan photo negatives and things like that. So I don't want to get rid of it just yet. So it's staying there. We don't use it very often. And then here is currently full of like postcards and things like that, and memory things that we have. And I think I would like to keep that way. So I'm just leaving all of that in for now. We're ready to move on to my desk drawers and empty those. Well then, here we have it. Everything that came out of the office. I kind of dread going through this stuff because the office is also where I tend to shove things I don't know what to do with. The office, also the utility space downstairs. That's an upcoming project once the weather gets a little bit better. Yeah, those places where you just put things you don't know where to put. That needs to end. Everything we own needs to have a place where it belongs. Starting with the office, because this stuff is important. And you want to deal with office organization before you get into the situation where it is something you should have done a long time ago and now you're in trouble. Although honestly, I'm mostly dreading sorting through all of the paperwork. I'm lucky in the sense that most of the paperwork and the official important documents that we need to keep are kept digitally nowadays, as well as the majority of my business administration. Everything is digitalized. I also digitalize all my receipts and everything. But there are certain things that I do like to keep, such as some types of government correspondence. My tax payments, I like to save those. And I always like to write the date that I fulfilled the payment on the actual paper. So I do like to keep those. I think I have those going back until I first started paying taxes. So I will have to sort through those because I do believe you're only required to keep those for 10 years, and it's been more than 10 years now. So I think there should be some stuff that I can get rid of there. Maybe it's 5 years, but I'll stick to 10 years just to be absolutely sure. But ideally, I would like to have all of that sorted by date. So by the year that it applies to. So now just to find a way to store and archive that. That makes sense. Okay. Let's get to sorting. It's gonna take a long time, I'm sure. I am exhausted physically and mentally, but even though it doesn't look like it, we have made a lot of progress. The bulk of the work is done. The sorting, the categorizing. I went through all of the paperwork, all of the administration, all of the documents. Let me just walk you through what we have right now. Over there we have the tech corner. We have our box of cables, including other cables that weren't in the box. I would like to kind of make sure that everything is able to squeeze into there. But I'll probably have to have my husband look at that as well to see if there's any cables of his in there. I have a bit of batteries that's gonna have to come out of this container and go somewhere else. Old media players. Ooh, showing my age here. Yep. This is all filming related stuff that I'm gonna bring upstairs. This should by all means be in my filming studio because that's where I use this stuff and not in the office. So that's not gonna go back into the office. More tech stuff that I haven't really quite decided what to do with yet. Laptops. Then here is all the little stuff that came out of my drawers, which is more or less sorted into categories, and I'll just have to go through that once I get to it. These bags were in there. I'd like to store those somewhere else as well. The documents. I was able to sort everything in a way that more or less makes sense, and I made sure to label the containers. So these are personal documents, these are my business related documents, these are my receipts and just admin from before I digitalized everything. This is all of my tax documents by year. So we have every year, and then everything that's older than 2014 is way in the back there. This was giving me headaches, so I'm very, very glad that that is now all sorted and I can actually use it. This is where I stored, for lack of a better word, fan mail. That is all mailing stuff. This is all printing stuff. That's an empty box. This is the stuff that I am throwing away, so I'm probably gonna have to shred that or somehow dispose of that safely. In there we have user manuals. I haven't gone through those yet. I would like to go through, see if there's anything there we no longer have. Empty box, another empty. Oh, I might actually put all the user manuals in there. I think that would be better. Office supplies, I haven't sorted yet. Here we have some DVDs. I figured it made sense to store these in the only place that has a CD reader or like a DVD reader. An organizer. And yeah, office supplies, and then there's a bunch of stuff that I want to keep but not in here, or not in the office, so that's gonna go to other places in the house. So there's a lot to do still, but there is so much already done and I already feel so much lighter, so this is great. I think I'm gonna take a little break now and then keep going. Alrighty, the sun is really bright in here. I hope you can see anything at all, but it's time to start putting things back in here. And I think this cabinet up top should probably be used for all of the administration and like the document storage. I put all of our manuals and warranties in this little holder right here, so that's gonna go in there along with all of this, and I think I'm gonna just pop it in the order of how often it's used. This is just backlog, and then this, the tax documents, is what I use most frequently. And there is plenty of room here for more. I think I want to put back that wooden drawer unit that we have. Here we go. I think that works. So this bottom drawer has printer paper, just plain old white printer paper, and I think actually that one should be on top. Then on the bottom one we can have all of the other printing stuff. So we have some labels here that can go here. See if this fits. Barely fits, but it does. I think I should label this though. I definitely should. I've sorted through all of the cables and I think I would like to place this box up here and grab another one from downstairs, maybe one that's a little bit empty, and see if I can pop another one next to that. I think that just look nice and cohesive in here. That was quick. Apparently we had a completely empty one downstairs. So I filled that up with all of the DVDs and games. And I can pop that one up right here next to the cables. That's 2 cubbies filled. Very happy with how that's looking so far. So I think now I can start filling up the drawers after I have cleaned these. I think this should be the designated mail station. So in the top drawer here, I have postcards. We like to keep a back stock of birthday cards and things like that, as well as some stamps. And then in here we have envelopes. However, I have this little stock of like floppy envelopes. I use this to sell clothes online and things like that. But this box doesn't fit in that drawer, which is a little bit annoying because I would like to keep all of this together ideally. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I think I'm gonna label these drawers so that we know that they are mail drawers, and then yeah, I'll see what I do with that. I realized I have much more kind of sentimental paperwork, like postcards, letters. I found a bunch of love letters, so cute. Much more than I thought, and that drawer isn't gonna cut it if it's gonna expand, which it is. So I freed up this box, this cardboard box, that I'm gonna fill up with all of the sentimental paper, and that's gonna go into one of these cubbies. I think since the box is white, it's gonna look really nice and clean. And it's gonna be a great way to store these things. So I'm gonna just transfer everything from that drawer, and then everything I found for some reason among my tax papers, it's all gonna go in here. I utilized the bottom drawer for office supplies, you know, like paper organization stuff, plastic holder envelopes, inserts, things like that. I decided to pop the mailing envelopes here underneath the memory box. They fit there, it means they're still close to all of the mailing stuff, makes sense. Currently, these 3 cubbies are all still empty, so I honestly think I can probably bring back some stuff that I was considering putting elsewhere, like those bags, for example. It doesn't necessarily make sense to store bags in the office, but we have a lot of storage here, and if we need that space, I can always take them out later. And I mean, this is where they have been for since we moved in, so I think it's okay if they go back. And then for these two cubbies, gonna see what else I have lying on the floor of our guest bedroom and what can go in there. I bought some tech boxes that I would like to keep in this bin here, so that that can go, oops, right here. I think that's a logical place to store those. I think with that empty cubby, I'm gonna indulge myself and keep my notes from uni. I cannot part with these. I can't. Also, you don't just get rid of your old Irish grammar, because how on earth are you ever gonna replace that? This isn't something people just have access to. I'm keeping this. And I'm keeping it right here in that spot that is unutilized. My translations. I just can't let this go, not yet. I also have some magazines that I was in that I think can go in there, because why not? Alright, it's looking a lot better. Again, you can't really tell, but I swear it is. That's my discard pile. Yeah, I think it's time to start organizing my drawers, because a lot of this is gonna fit into my drawers. That's gonna go upstairs, of course. But yeah, I do think a lot of this should just fit back into my desk drawers, so I think I'm just gonna get started with that. There is one more thing I would like to do in this room, and that is underneath the desk. So, let's see. That's my PC, and that is electrical mess. I've already tried and kind of tie up all these cables so that they're compact and it doesn't tangle and everything, but I would very much like to get this off of the floor so that it's easier to clean and vacuum in here. So I would very much like to just take that entire thing and stick it onto the bottom of the desk. So I'm gonna see if I have any double-sided tape anywhere that I could do that with, and that would be fantastic and just the finishing touch that this room needs. Well, it's far from perfect, and it might fall down, but at least it's off the floor, and this will be much easier to keep clean. Look how dusty I got under there. Gross! Yeah, that's gonna be a very, very good change for us. Although I might look into getting one of those like hanging wire baskets that are meant for this specifically. I think that would be better. It does what it needs to for now. I think it's done. I think we're ready. Let's do a little tour of the after situation that I am very, very pleased with at the moment, I have to say. So firstly, up top here, I switched around the plants and the printer, which gives a little bit better access to the printer and a little bit more of an airy feel when you walk into the room. Right here, the first cubby, we have cables, DVDs and PC games, printer paper. In this drawer right here, other printer related things in the drawer below. Then behind this door is all of our administration, and everything is labeled. So this is manuals and warranties. And then we have everything to do with the house, and then all of these folders that I've already shown you with all of our administration. The cubby below, we have this little bin full of tech boxes that I would like to keep. The label isn't really sticking. I'm gonna have to figure out something else for that. Here, this is the post center, I guess. So here we have greeting cards and stamps. And then below we have sending stuff, so envelopes. Yeah, mostly just different kinds of envelopes. Moving down, this is the memory box. All kinds of old greeting cards that we've received, letters, things like that. Then there is my soft floppy envelopes. for sending clothes in. In this cubby we have the blanket that I use when I'm sitting here. It gets really cold in this room and in the upstairs in general in winter, so I like to keep that blanket for when I'm sitting at my desk. It used to be on top of the printer, but yeah, it's much better tucked away in here, as well as all of my university notes and those magazines that I'd like to keep are on the bottom down here. So this is just kind of, you know, stuff that should be out of sight. It is now neatly tucked away in there. Then these bottom drawers here, this is the battery one. This is where we keep common size batteries, and these are like odd shaped batteries that you might not use as often. And here we keep the battery charger. And then the bottom one is just like this kind of office supplies. I don't really know how to call this, but you know, stuff like this. My desk itself is completely clear. All I have up there is the coaster that I tend to set a pot of tea on when I'm working here for longer amounts of time, and a desk lamp. Then of course my monitor stand with my keyboard and my mouse underneath. And I'm able to keep my desk completely clear because everything I need is in these drawers. The first one up top, I have office essentials, pens and pencils in here, some erasers, little like sharpener, little clips like that. Here I have some hand creams, hand sanitizer, this like essential oil roller. And then back here, a pair of scissors. These are markers, various kinds of markers. These are like colored markers, and a notepad. And then behind there I have these like paper clips that I don't use very frequently, but I think they fit best with this category, so those are in there. Then next drawer is small tech stuff, so my headphones that I use for editing, as well as the charger, my online banking stuff, hard drives. This is all headphone or like earphones, and then more small tech in there. Next drawer down, there's a lot of space, by the way, in here to spare still. This is where I keep active receipts that I haven't filed yet, usually once a month or every other month, depending on how much it is. I will go ahead, digitize all of this, make sure it's all filed away properly. A hole punch and sharpener, like small office supplies. This is all filled with stickers, sticky notes, labels, just anything that sticks onto paper is in here. And here's the case to my headphones. Next drawer down is just notebooks. Small notebooks in the back, bigger notebooks in the front. Nice and spacious still. And then the bottom one is where I have my laptop, my drawing tablet, and then an old laptop that I still hope to one day get the files off of somehow. So yeah, that is what it currently looks like in the office, and I am very, very happy with it. It's nice and clean. It is very functional. We know where to find everything. It's all organized, and I am especially happy with the way that the administration is organized right now. I did mention when we started that my focus was on function and not necessarily aesthetics, but I think, you know, with that in mind, it still looks fairly nice. It's not super uniform, and especially the insides of my drawers could look a lot nicer, but I didn't have to spend any money on this whatsoever, and it has improved so much. I'm usually very hung up on how things look, but for some reason in here, not really, I just need them to work. So yeah, I am very, very happy with the results and so relieved that this is done. Having gone through it now, it really wasn't that bad, and it only took a day, so I really should have done this sooner. There are more areas in the house like this that need to be organized at some point fairly soon, probably. So if you did enjoy this, do let me know, and I might take you along as we do those as well. But yeah, that does bring us to the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be updated on all of my new videos. If you would like to support me through Patreon, there's a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!